Have you ever felt like life is just too hard and you're not sure if you can keep going? It's a sentiment that echoes in the hearts of countless individuals, a silent whisper in the midst of struggle. Life, in its infinite complexity, throws curveballs our way, presenting challenges that can sometimes seem insurmountable. We've all been there, standing at the foot of a mountain, staring up at the peak shrouded in clouds, feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders. The climb appears steep, the path ridden with obstacles, the journey daunting. It's the universal human experience, this dance with adversity. In this dance, we stumble, we falter, but we also learn, grow, and above all, we persevere. It's in these moments of struggle that we truly discover our strength, our resilience, our capacity to overcome. Challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones leading us towards our potential. But remember, the night is darkest just before the dawn. Meet Amy, a woman who faced such a situation and emerged victorious. In the bustling city of New York, Amy was a high flyer in the corporate world. She had a comfortable life, a promising career, and dreams as high as the skyscrapers that surrounded her. But one day, without warning, she lost her job. The financial crisis had hit her company hard, and she was one of the many casualties. Overnight, Amy's world turned upside down. Bills piled up, her savings dwindled, and the job market was as barren as a desert. The stress and anxiety were unbearable. There were moments when despair seemed to be her only companion. The comfortable life she had known seemed like a distant memory, replaced by a harsh reality she wasn't prepared for. But this is not a tale of defeat. No, this is a story of resilience, of determination, and of the indomitable human spirit. Amidst the storm, Amy found her beacon of hope. She realized that waiting for another job wasn't the solution. She needed to take control of her life. She needed to create her own opportunities. With the last of her savings, Amy started a small online business selling handmade jewelry. She taught herself how to design, how to market, and how to manage a business. It was a steep learning curve, but Amy was undeterred. She worked tirelessly, often late into the night, fueled by the dream of a better future. Slowly but surely, her business began to grow. Orders started trickling in, then pouring. Amy's unique designs and relentless hustle made her stand out in the crowded marketplace. She was no longer just surviving, she was thriving. Amy's journey wasn't easy. It was filled with trials and tribulations, with moments of doubt and despair. But she didn't let her circumstances define her. She chose to rise above them. She chose to fight, to persevere, and to succeed. Amy's story is a testament to the human spirit's resilience. Now, let's turn to Mark, a man who was forced to confront his deepest fears. In the heart of our concrete jungle lived Mark, a vibrant soul known for his infectious laughter and zest for life. But behind the sunny exterior, Mark was engaged in a relentless battle with a life-threatening illness. It was a battle that tested his courage, resilience, and spirit. Mark's journey was far from easy. He was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of cancer, and the news hit him like a thunderbolt. It was a moment that shattered his world, plunging him into a sea of fear and uncertainty. He was suddenly faced with the terrifying prospect of his mortality, and it was a reality he was not prepared for. The emotional toll was immense. Mark grappled with fear, anger, and despair. The vibrant laughter that once echoed in his life was replaced with the silence of hospital corridors and the sterile scent of antiseptic. But amidst the turmoil, Mark made a conscious decision. He chose not to let his illness define him. He focused on his health, adopting a balanced diet, regular exercise, and meditation. He surrounded himself with positive influences, immersing himself in uplifting literature and music. He chose to laugh, to love, to live. Even when his body was at war with him, Mark's positive attitude became his greatest weapon. It fueled his determination to overcome his illness, to fight, to survive. And eventually, it was this positive mindset that pulled him through. After a grueling battle, Mark emerged victorious, his spirit stronger than ever. His journey was not just about overcoming a life-threatening illness. It was about the power of the human spirit, the strength of will, the determination to not just survive, but to thrive. It was about embracing life, even in the face of adversity, and finding joy amidst pain. Mark's story teaches us about the power of a positive mindset. It shows us that even in our darkest moments, we have the power to light our own way. We have the power to overcome. Next, we have Sarah, a young girl who turned a personal tragedy into a triumph. Sarah was just a child when the unimaginable happened. She lost a parent. It was a sudden, heart-wrenching event that shook her world to its core. The pain was overwhelming, the grief all-consuming. It was like a dark cloud had settled over her life, casting a deep shadow on her innocence and joy. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, and with each passing moment, Sarah found herself sinking deeper into a chasm of sadness and despair. Acceptance seemed like a distant dream, an impossible reality. The void left by her parents' departure appeared too vast to ever be filled. But then, something remarkable happened. Sarah, in her grief, stumbled upon a profound truth. Her pain was not hers alone. All around her, there were children who, like her, had lost a parent, who were grappling with the same feelings of loss and despair, who were trying to make sense of a world that had suddenly turned upside down. And so, Sarah decided to do something about it. She chose to channel her pain into something constructive, something that could help others in their journey of grief and acceptance. And thus, a nonprofit organization was born. An organization dedicated to supporting children who had lost a parent, providing them with the resources and emotional support they needed to navigate their grief. Sarah's journey was not an easy one. There were days when the pain seemed insurmountable, when the weight of her loss threatened to crush her. But she persevered. She faced her grief head-on, accepted it, and used it as a catalyst to bring about positive change in the lives of others. She turned her personal tragedy into a triumph, a beacon of hope for those navigating the turbulent waters of grief. Sarah's story shows us that even in our darkest hours, we have the capacity to create light. What do Amy, Mark, and Sarah all have in common? They each face their own set of trials and tribulations, their own unique mountains to climb. But there's one thread that weaves through their stories, binding them together. That thread, the power of persistence. Amy, despite her physical limitations, refused to let her circumstances dictate her life. Instead of giving up, she persisted, pushing past the boundaries that society had set for her. Her journey wasn't easy, but her unwavering persistence led her to a life of fulfillment and joy that she could never have imagined. Mark, too, had his struggles. He was trapped in a job that drained him, a job that didn't align with his passions. But Mark didn't let this deter him. He persisted in his pursuit of a career that would bring him not just financial stability, but also happiness and contentment. His persistence paid off, and he found his true calling. And then there's Sarah. She was faced with a challenge that many of us can't even begin to fathom. The loss of a loved one. The pain was unbearable, the grief overwhelming. But Sarah, in the midst of her sorrow, chose to persist. She chose to keep going, to keep living, to keep loving. Her persistence led her to a place of healing and acceptance, a place where she could honor her loved one while still moving forward. So, what can we learn from Amy, Mark, and Sarah? That persistence, that dogged determination to keep going in the face of adversity is a powerful force. It's a force that can propel us past our challenges, past our fears, past our doubts. Their stories remind us that persistence isn't just about refusing to give up. It's about pushing forward even when the path ahead seems daunting. It's about finding the strength within ourselves to keep going, even when we're faced with obstacles that seem insurmountable. Their stories remind us that persistence is a key ingredient in the recipe for overcoming challenges. So, what can we learn from these stories? Well, let's break it down. Each of these stories shares a common theme: the power of resilience in the face of adversity. Amy, Mark, and Sarah each confronted their challenges head-on, refused to back down, and emerged stronger on the other side. They demonstrated the importance of maintaining a positive mindset, even when the odds seem stacked against us. They showed us that persistence isn't just about stubbornly clinging to a goal, but about adapting, learning, and growing along the way. These stories remind us that difficulties are not roadblocks, but stepping stones on the path to success. They teach us that challenges are opportunities in disguise, chances for us to test our mettle and prove our strength. And the most crucial takeaway? The power to overcome challenges isn't something that's handed to us. It's something that's already within us. Remember, the power to overcome challenges lies within you. You are stronger than you think.